Am I the a-hole for cutting off my ex-wife's kids I raised for 9 years when I found out they had been lying to me? I, 41 male, was married to my ex-wife, 38 female, for 2 years before we split up. She has 5 kids that I had been helping her raise for almost 9 years, as we had an on and off relationship before we got married. The kids are 22 female, 19 male, 17 male, 11 male, and 9 female. I have always had a great relationship with all the kids and treated them like my own. Their dads weren't really in the picture, and I was the man that stepped up to be there for them all. My ex and I would still spend time together and see each other after our initial split, as we were trying to work things out. During this time, she would date other men and have them in the home with the kids. I worked out of state and would talk to her and the kids regularly like a husband and father would, and would spend my days off with them all. Well, the line came into play when I found out on accident that the dad of 3 of the kids had gotten out of jail and was spending time with my wife and kids behind my back because no one wanted me to find out because he told them not to tell me. I was then informed that they had been covering for their mom's indiscretions the whole time I've known them. Full specifics: as I would come down from my work on my time off, the kids would all hide whatever man their mom was seeing at a time and tell the little ones to not say anything to me. That if I had found out what they were doing, I would have stopped paying all the bills and taking care of all of them. When I was told all of these things, I realized that I was just an ADM, and them and their mom never really cared about me. So I cut all contact with the entire family. I decided my feelings and my mental health was more important than constantly caring for people that don't care about me or how I felt about what was being done to me. So am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole at all. You were a stand-up guy to them, and they treated you poorly. End of story. Good luck to you. Not the a-hole or the ATM. Let's give them props for the teamwork though. Awful, but impressive they made it that long without spilling the beans. Even the kids betrayed you. Damn, son, that's rough. I'm sorry you went through that. Not the a-hole. A grifter raising little grifters. Glad you're out, Opie. Unfortunately, the only not the a-hole ones here are the 2 youngest, who have only known Opie as a father. You cannot blame young kids for doing what their mother tells them. The mom is horrible in so many levels. According to Opie, it has been going for 9 years, meaning even the oldest were young kids when dealing with us. None of the kids, from the youngest to the oldest, should be looked at fault here. The mother should. Those kids knew exactly what would happen and tried their best to keep the family together the best way they know how. And this isn't even getting into what the mom may have told them to do. Add now confusing emotions of a deadbeat dad now popping up in the picture. They're just as much victims. Not the a-hole. Dating a single mom is fine. Dating a single mom with 5 kids from different fathers, at least one of which is in jail, might not be the best idea. Mom seemingly has a lifelong history of poor choices, it sounds like, having a kid at 16. I'd assume the 3 oldest are with a man in jail, and the 2 youngest are with a different man? Manipulating her kids into lying for her to cover for her affairs? They were together 9 years, but she has a 9-year-old with someone else? The whole situation is one messy red flag. The only sane decision in this whole crap show was him leaving this chaotic mess. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling people why my girlfriend and I broke up? My ex and I had been dating for over 2 years when she cheated on me at a Halloween party. She called me a few days afterwards to tell me she cheated. She claimed she felt bad about it as to why she was telling me, and claimed she felt like our relationship was over as to why she let it happen. I was super busy with work trying to make enough to get a place for both of us. I broke up with her and hung up. Then I updated my Facebook to say I was single again, and a couple of my friends asked me why on the update. I responded with, she cheated on me at a party. Well, roughly 7 hours later, my ex's friends and sister are blowing up my Facebook and phone, threatening me and calling me an a-hole for bringing strangers into our business. To which I feel that if she didn't want other people knowing she cheated on me, maybe she shouldn't have freaking cheated on me. So I guess am I the a-hole for being honest to people about why I broke up with that girl, or should I have just acted like it was mutual? Not the a-hole. This has the vibe of, if you don't want people to know you are an a-hole, then don't be an a-hole. She made her bed. Let her lay in it. I know you are probably hurt right now, Opie. Know that with time it will heal the wounds she has caused you. I wish you positive vibes. Thank you. This happened a couple years ago, but it took me a long while to get my head right again over it and start dating again. I am curious, what was the aftermath and the reason the friends inserted themselves when it wasn't their business either? The aftermath I gather from snooping a bit shortly after the split, and what a mutual friend of ours told me, that guy thought she was single, that her deadbeat, neglectful boyfriend who didn't even want her had dumped her the week of Halloween, because that's what she told him. He apparently stalked my profile about a week after the party and saw my post and ghosted my ex after that for lying to him. This is of course third-hand info. The guy never contacted me himself, so who knows how true it all is. But I trust the base info. She wanted to date the guy. The guy found out she was a cheater and ghosted her. She complained to friends and friends blew my phone up. Not the a-hole. Your ex-girlfriend cheated, and then she called you to tell you. I honestly feel it's because she wanted you to break up with her. Well, she got what she wanted, as well as everyone finding out about her actions. It's none of the friends' business, because I doubt if their significant other cheated on them, they would hold back. 100% this. Her friend/sibling don't like that the truth drags her name through the mud. Too bad. As a person who was cheated on and dumped when I was starting to catch on, then had that person defended to me when I brought up what happened? Screw him. Don't want to have your reputation tarnished by having your cheating be made public by people asking? Don't cheat. Not the a-hole. I am always 100% in favor of social consequences for unfaithful partners. Should I have just acted like it was mutual? Heck no, because it wasn't. She cheated. Feel free to fly one of those airplane banners over the city if you so wish. My girlfriend cheated! Lots of exclamation points just for fun. My ex-wife told me she needed a break. I was distraught. I was apologizing for 2 weeks saying how I wanted to work it out. She stayed at her parents', and we talked a lot that week. Come to find out, she was telling her parents she was staying with me to talk while going to this guy's house and then agreeing to go to couples therapy with me. This came out, and I flipped. Told everyone. She was only ever mad I didn't keep our relationship between us. Screw that. You mean between me, you, and the guy you were banging while I was a mess for 2 weeks trying to salvage it. Next story. Am I the a-hole for disowning my eldest daughter for going after my youngest daughter's boyfriend? I'm at a loss here. I have 2 daughters, 28-year-old Madison and 23-year-old Naomi. Madison has always been a problematic child for things outside of her control. As a young girl, she's always been what people call a pick-me girl, needing to be the center of attention constantly and trying to one-up people in any way she possibly can. This started happening around age 8. She was in extensive therapy for years, and ultimately it was chalked up to abandonment issues and seeking male validation due to her father essentially wanting nothing to do with her after years of being a daddy's girl. She did come down in her teen years though, and we thought maybe therapy, both personal and family, was finally helping. She started dating a real nice guy Tommy around 5 years ago, but they split up back in December because he wasn't ready for marriage and she was. It destroyed her mentally though, and she started to spiral back into her old ways. Now, Naomi started dating Heath a bit over a year ago, and they started talking about marriage and babies around the same time Madison and Tommy split up. I didn't notice the signs originally, but back a month and a half ago, it became really obvious that Madison had her eyes on Naomi's boyfriend. Like whenever we would invite her for family dinners, she would ask if he was going to be there, and come dressed to the max in flashy revealing clothes and flirt excessively. At this point, I told her she needed to tone it down and suggested she gets back into therapy. She informed me that she didn't mean it and that she was just finding herself again after a bad breakup, and insisted that she had no interest in Heath. We just all took her for her word. But Naomi called me in hysterics 3 nights ago and asking to come back home. We open our doors obviously. That's when she tells us that Madison and Heath started an affair, and that Madison had been messaging Heath constantly for 2 months or so, and that she saw all the messages. I calm Naomi down, and when she gets to bed finally, I call Madison and ask her about it. She confirms and says, "It's not like I meant for this to happen. We just clicked, and I'm so happy with him. It sucks because I did hurt people in the process, but I feel I deserve some empathy here too." I was shocked. I told her she was no longer a part of this family, and that she made her bed and now she will have to lay in it. Other family members are telling me I'm a bit too harsh, knowing Madison's history with mental issues, but I can't even look at her the same. I'm disgusted by her. Not the a-hole. She clearly did mean it and wanted it to happen based on her activities up to that point. I am sorry this happened to you and your younger daughter, but you made a tough choice to stand up for her. Yep. How do you accidentally have an affair? Are you saying you never tripped down a flight of stairs, and also someone else also tripped down those same stairs, and as you're rolling down said stairs, you end up in an accident sex? It's not like I meant for this to happen. Yeah, it was. She deliberately went after him because her relationship failed and her sister's was blooming. And so she got angry and went to steal her happiness. She doesn't care about you or her sister. She's the only thing that matters in her life. Honestly, she's probably not upset you disowned her, but likes the attention of playing victim. Tell other family members that they can believe what they want, but how would they feel if she had decided to target their partner just because she couldn't stand to see someone else happy while she wasn't? This, plus at 28 she's plenty old enough to know better. If she was 15, I'd sit her down to explain things. But she's 28, old enough to know you don't sabotage her sister's relationship or sleep with her boyfriend because her own boyfriend dumped you. This is an important lesson she needs to learn, and if you let it slip, she will remain an a-hole. And Heath will learn his own lesson over the next 2 to 6 months when he realizes what is given up in order to fool around with a mentally unstable narcissist. Like, there's a very short list of the worst people to have your affair with. Your partner's parents, your partner's kids, your partner's siblings, your partner's exes, anyone in a relationship with any of those people. That's it. Roughly 10 to 50 people out of your entire town, /cities, /states, /whatever. Do not touch them. Because not only are you far more likely to get found out, but even if your partner might forgive you for cheating with a stranger, they will never forgive you for cheating with those people. Not the a-hole. And applause to you for taking a stand and supporting the daughter who did nothing wrong. Too many parents say, well, I don't want to pick sides. I love you equally, which only punishes the victim and enables the wrongdoer. I know your youngest really appreciates you having her back. Last story. Am I the a-hole for telling my mom she should learn how to keep her legs closed? So I, 15 female, and my mom, 37 female, have never really had a great relationship. We have the same attitude, so us together doesn't really work out. Also, she's always getting herself into toxic relationships, which ends up affecting me and my sisters, 19 female and 9 female. A few months ago, my mom started seeing this guy Fred, 45 male. At first, he seemed like a great guy, taking my mom out, buying her flowers, chocolates, etc. I liked him. He was nice. Then 2 months ago, I found a paper in our kitchen counter. I'm not really sure what they're called, but it was basically stating that my mom was putting in her 30-day notice to leave our apartment. I asked my mom about it, and she said that Fred wants us to move in with him and his 2 kids. However, she was asking me and my younger sister if we were okay with it. I said I didn't care, and my little sister said she didn't want to. My mom didn't listen to my sister, so we ended up moving in with Fred. In the first week we moved in, Fred started to show his true colors, telling my mom what she was allowed and not allowed to do in his house. For example, no drinking in the house as he used to be an alcoholic. He didn't want my older sister visiting every day, etc., which caused a lot of arguments between them. Fast forward to today, Fred went out to run some errands and called my mom. He told her he was buying her a Princess Peach's costume for his friend's son's birthday party, which is Mario Brothers theme. My mom said there was no way she was gonna wear that, so to not even bother to buy it. He kept insisting and my mom kept saying no and hung up. He kept calling her and my mom kept ignoring it. He kept calling and my mom picked it up and he was furious. He told her how dare she hung up on him. My mom said it's my phone and I can do what I want, and he told her, well, I bought it, which caused a huge argument. My sister's partner and sister were there at the same time. My mom told them that she has had enough of his BS and she wanted to leave. So she went to Walmart, bought boxes to put out the clothes and belongings in, called my aunt, and we packed everything and left. We moved in with my sister to their 1-bedroom apartment. I was so mad at my mom for putting us in this situation. I was already tired of my sister's partner telling me that it's their house, so I had to follow their rules for the millionth time. So I told my mom she better find us a place to live ASAP. She told me I should be grateful we had a roof over our heads. And we wouldn't be in this situation if we had told her we didn't want to move in with Fred. I was furious at that point and corrected her by saying if only she knew how to keep her legs closed and thought with reason and not lust, we wouldn't be in this situation, so stop blaming me and my sister for it. She slapped me and called me an ungrateful witch. My sister and cousins keep telling me that I crossed the line for basically calling my mom a whore, but I was tired of her blaming me and my sister for her bad decisions. So am I the a-hole for telling my mom she should learn how to keep her legs closed? So I have relatives like this, always need to be with a man/woman. They can't handle being on their own, and their children suffer. Could you have said something different? Of course. Were you wrong? No, you were not. Your mom has some self-reflecting to do, and just because someone is in their 30s doesn't mean they are a responsible adult. Best of luck to you, young lady. I too had a former friend who always had to have a man. Only difference is luckily there were no kids involved. I don't get it, because she has a college education. When she worked in insurance, she got numerous awards for the amount of insurance she sold. I used to go to her family's for Christmas, and she made a snide remark one time, referring to how long it had been since she thought I had been with someone. I let pass because I didn't want to ruin the holiday, but I was so close to saying, at least I don't settle for any Tom's hairy prick. Funny, my wife and I were talking about this recently and we're like, if we were to end our relationship after 32 years of us being together, we would be single for a long time. Not the a-hole. Facts are facts. That is why she lashed out at you. Start thinking now about building assets and money, so it'll be easier. Not easy, just easier, when you become an adult and want to distance yourself. Yes, save every penny from birthday and holiday money and from when you get a job. You won't be able to move out when you feel that you need to. And if you don't move out, use the money for college or trade school. Give your youngest sister a good role model. She wants the baby to call her mom. Plus updates. My mother-in-law, 57 female, told me she wants my 25 female unborn child to call her mom. Her reasoning? I am more important to my son than you. There's only one thing you can give him that I can't. She also insists that she can have a baby too if she wanted, so I'm not special for being pregnant. This makes no sense to me, but she's batshit crazy to me at this point. She genuinely believes that I stole her son from her and don't deserve to have my own child refer to me as mom. Now for the top comments before reading the updates. I've read some crazy stories on this sub, but yours is just like WTF. Your mother-in-law wants to have her child's baby. I don't know if it's this sub or the Just Know Mother-in-Law sub, but you can find a list of reading materials and resources that can help you in your hubs, especially with fear, obligation, and guilt boundaries, standing up for yourselves in a healthy way, etc. I'm so sorry you have to deal with this disgusting person. Hugs if you want them. Unfortunately, her experience isn't exactly rare. I have read countless stories in the same vein where the mother-in-law very much seems to want to sleep with her own son. It's like these mother-in-laws are jealous that another woman can provide a son with something they can't, so they resent the wife/girlfriend for that. Treat them like they are the other woman. OP, you need to tell your husband exactly what his mom said and how she is acting. Whether it's his or absurd behavior for what it is or not, determines what your next moves to be. The biggest, regardless of his agreement, is putting a massive amount of space between you and mother-in-law, at least until she gets psychiatric help. Let her explain to a medical professional how it's okay in her mind to want to be the mother to her own son's baby. What does your significant other think about his mother saying these things? It is absolutely crazy. He's afraid to upset her by standing up for me. It's disappointing, and I stay away and let comments slide instead of ruining my mental health trying to stand up for myself. This is not healthy for you or your baby. I tell him that the stress his mother is causing and his lack of spine is putting unnecessary stress on your baby. Either he stands up for you and puts in firm boundaries, or he can go stay with his mommy. Now for the first update. I posted previously about my mother-in-law competing with me now that I'm pregnant and suggesting she could have a baby herself. She said the only thing I can offer my husband that she can't is children. We've been married for almost 4 years now. I would have responded to your comments and advice, but my life fell apart. Trigger warning ahead. She has officially won.
I was at 14 weeks and had a very bad fall, where I landed on my own belly. She put her stuff all over our living room floor to store it here for some reason, and I tripped on the mess. I began miscarrying 20 minutes later. She was here when it happened and knew it was happening. I was texting, calling, crying, yelling from the bathroom to get his attention. He came in, saw that I had blood overflowing from my shorts, and said he urgently needed to help his mom. He left. I went through the brunt of miscarriage myself, and I held the remains in my hands. I begged him over text to come to the bathroom and help me, to hold me, to go through this with me. He finally came in half-hour later and saw the blood everywhere. I'm anemic and couldn't stand anymore. He made a comment about how it was going to be a lot to clean up, so I tossed off my clothes, climbed into the shower, and bled there. I asked him to buy me large pads and said I'd clean the mess. He came back half an hour later with the pads and kept explaining that his mom needed him. They knew I was miscarrying, but she needed help moving things, and it was urgent. She was outside when I cleaned up the bathroom and went to the kitchen for food. I was weak and struggling. She didn't make eye contact with me or talk to me at all, probably because she knew she had won. She took my husband away from me during the most traumatic point of my life, and he went willingly. I feel lost. He spent the night at his mom's house and left me alone. He isn't back yet. I've been alone with his kids from a different relationship, who he only gets to see 1 3-day weekend a month. He hasn't texted me and I haven't reached out either. I don't know why it wasn't important to him, why the miscarriage wasn't urgent, why he didn't want to hold me, why he won't come home. I'm so lost and alone and my heart is broken. She's probably celebrating while I'm mourning. Call the kid's mother to come get them. Pack your bags and leave. Never go back. Only contact should be divorce. This man is not your husband. You're an affair partner. He's married to his mother. Run and never look back. This exactly. If he wants to be with mommy so bad that he left you while you're having a medical emergency, divorce. He is still tied to mommy's apron strings. If he wants so badly to be with mommy, let him go. He's not worth your time. And I can't believe he left his kids for you to care of when you're going through this. I'm sorry to jump straight to divorce, but mommy obviously means more than you or his kids. OP, first and foremost, you need medical attention. A miscarriage at 14 weeks due to a bad fall needs medical attention, especially considering you're anemic. Deal with getting medical attention first. Emergency services will watch his children while either he or the mom comes to pick them up. You shouldn't be looking after children when you are in need of medical attention. When you've gotten medical attention, pack your things and leave. I hate to say it like this, but leaving him miscarry and bleeding profusely with his children is abuse. His precious mummy's too important to him for him to care for you. You'll be much, much better off without him and his baggage mummy dearest. Lastly, see if you can get in contact with a grief counselor. There are also lots of groups on here that can help you through the grieving process. It's not going to be easy. Look after yourself before anyone else and take all the time you need. Best of luck, Opie. I am sending you a lot of internet stranger hugs. Thank you for suggesting a grief counselor. I didn't even consider it. I did end up in the ER after her fainting. The kids were dropped off to their mom by my friend. I'm still in the hospital and still haven't heard from him. I am so sorry for your loss. Do you have somewhere safe you can go? His kids are here until Monday morning, so I'm taking care of them. My family lives 1,000 miles away. Second update. I've posted a few times. You can see my post history. I'm eternally grateful for all of your advice and emotional support during the hardest moment of my life. You've kept me strong enough to write you this update. I ended up discharged from the hospital after 24 hours, and he still wasn't home. I confided in my family and they booked me a ticket home. They were horrified that this happened, and a little hurt that I didn't reach out when it was happening for help. I don't know why it didn't occur to me. I packed my things and flew to them. He still hasn't responded to my texts, voicemails, or calls, so I left him a handwritten note. A few days after being with my family, I get a long text from him. He said that he had to stay with his mother for the entire week after I had miscarried in our home, basically because of her. Because, and get this folks, she felt triggered by my miscarriage and needed his emotional support. He argued that she needed him as she and his father are divorced. During this time, he didn't want to bring me up to further cause her distress, so he went no contact with me for a week. He said he thought I was strong enough to wait for him. He thinks I've overreacted by flying home, and he wants me to come home. I took your advice, folks. So I prepared for his stupid excuse and didn't let him manipulate me. I called and told him that when his mother had miscarried after he was born, she had her own husband to comfort her, while my husband left me alone and ignored me for a whole week. I told him everything you guys mentioned. It was medical neglect during a crisis, child abandonment of his own kids, my stepkids who were supposed to be under his care, and abandonment. I could have died and was very weak when I had checked into the hospital. I was even weak when I left. I told him I needed space to heal. I was finally getting emotional support from my family, and I'm in a safe place. I'm not ready to see him. He said that he is her only son. He had to help her. I reminded him that he was my only husband and I needed him. The miscarriage was happening to me, not her. He asked me if we were still good. Absolutely not. I was blunt and told him I didn't see our relationship repairing after what he did. His actions will haunt me for years. I cry myself to sleep every night. I miss my baby and my marriage. Both of them died the same day. I haven't filed yet, but I plan on filing for divorce when I'm ready for it. He's upset. He cried and told me I was being overly emotional because of the loss, that I wasn't in my right mind, and said he'd fly out to see me and bring me home. I put my parents on the phone and let them chew him out. I don't know what they said, but he hasn't called since. He's texted a few times, but I haven't responded. I know it isn't a happy update, but I wanted everyone to know that I'm safe now. Mother-in-law can keep her son. She hasn't contacted me at all since this all happened, and it's been a blessing. I've heard from mutual friends that she's blasting me to everyone over social media, but I'm going to stay out of it for my own peace of mind. Thank you so much for caring about me and taking the time to reply and send messages with support. I've just read your previous posts, and although it is not my place to say, I'm going to say this anyway. I am so damn proud of you, and I hope that you are proud of yourself. You have just done the hardest thing you'll ever have to do and given yourself a bright, happy future full of love and support, which is exactly what you deserve. Keep doing what you're doing. Put yourself first. Let your family care for you. Ignore your soon-to-be ex-husband, who quite frankly is a sad excuse for a human who will never be happy. And get the help you need to build yourself up. You are brave, you are strong, you are loved, and you will have an incredible life because of the courage you have shown. I wish you the best of luck. This poster is spot on. I've never read something that made my blood boil so quick. I will report him and his mother for incest, and I'd make sure his ex-wife knew all about him abandoning you with his children while you weren't fit to look after yourself. Never mind the kids. I'm so glad you had the strength to call your family and go to them. They will protect you at any cost, just like that POS was supposed to do. The irony, the place with that man wasn't your home. Your home now. Home is where the people who love and care about you are, and that clearly isn't there. I'm so sorry this happened to you. Please protect yourself further. Document everything. Make sure you haven't got tracking etc. on your devices. Make sure you've changed all your passwords for banking and anything medical too. The last thing you want is him going rogue and trying to get information. If it does turn up, don't stand and argue with him or give him a warning. Just call the police. I don't like the fact he told you he is going to fly there to bring you home. Like you are property or a naughty child gone rogue and doesn't see what he did is wrong. I'm suspicious of him and his mother and what they could do next. I'm so sorry you're having to live through this. Edit, please arrange for anything you need from your previous house to be removed ASAP. I've been thinking of you since I read of your miscarriage. I'm sorry for your loss. Well done for being strong enough to leave. Life will get better. Going no contact with you without warning because mommy was triggered is one of the most pathetic excuses I've ever encountered. I thought you'd be strong enough to cope alone is a total cop-out. It's like he thought you needing urgent medical attention was a weakness. I don't believe he gave you a second thought. He didn't even text. I'm glad you've seen him for the pathetic little man that he is. I'm only sorry it came at the very high cost of your baby and medical neglect. Sincere best wishes for your future. You deserve so much better in life. Thank goodness your family are supportive. Third update. My parents told him off when he first called and told him not to contact me again. He has since sent me lots of texts and voicemails. They alternate between reminding me of good memories, blaming me for what happened, being angry at me for not taking him back / responding and apologizing. I feel bad dragging my parents in the first time, so I haven't told them about these messages. I haven't responded but have read every text and heard every voicemail. I can't bring myself to block him. He posted on social media saying he misses me and is waiting for me to come home. The post insinuates a long-distance relationship, and not that we aren't together. A week ago, a neighbor, this is my childhood home, recognized him waiting outside our home and called the police. He left before they came. It made me so anxious and afraid. I'm always worried that he'll be outside and peek through my window to make sure he's not. But I honestly do miss him, and I'm still dealing with heartbreak. I loved him with all of my being, and it's taking time to come to terms with what transpired and how he treated me. It's brought up memories of other times he wasn't kind or considerate, and other instances where he put others, mostly his mom, before me. I realized I was brushing off a lot of red flags. His ex has reached out a few times. The kids had a visit with their dad, and it was unusual for me not to be there. I didn't respond. His mom has never reached out to me, which makes me happy and angry. Personally, life has been tough. I see pregnant women and cry. I still have my pregnancy app, and it updates me on the fruit size of the baby each week and little facts. I can't bring myself to delete it. I'm so anxious about the due date I had and how it's approaching. I have covered all the mirrors in my space. I hate seeing how flat my stomach is. I hate seeing my stomach at all. I feel like I failed to protect my baby. What if I hadn't tripped? It's been very hard for me to let go of this baby. I'm in therapy, and my therapist is kind and patient. She has suggested that I think of ways I want to honor this child. She said it's healthy to not want to forget and move on, but I need to find a way to honor her and keep her memory alive that doesn't consume me. I definitely think she's right, and have been looking at tattoo ideas and jewelry I can have made. My dad has a lawyer ready to help me with the divorce process, but I haven't filed yet. My mom cares a lot and keeps trying to suggest old childhood friends or her friends' sons for me to talk to and get my mind off things. But I don't think I could ever be in a relationship again. I feel numb and broken, and like a huge piece of me is missing. I have been working for the past 2 weeks, and I'm planning on moving out. I feel like I'm burdening my parents with my problems. They fuss over me and are sometimes over-the-top sensitive. My brother was watching a movie where a character was giving birth, and they made him turn it off even though I wasn't in the room. I don't want to disrupt their lives, and I feel so bad that they have to comfort me. I don't want to be hugged or constantly checked in on. I'm not trying to be ungrateful, I just feel like it all doesn't help. The random tight hug and "are you okay" are constant reminders of what happened. I'm trying to keep going. I'm trying to do my best, but I feel so empty and unhappy. Sometimes I wish I had bled to death in that bathroom. Sometimes I wish I had left the blood and left him before he had a chance to abandon me. So many regrets and scenarios play out in my mind. I often feel my mind heavy with dark thoughts and think I'd be better off gone. It's tough, but I'm going to try to keep moving. My heart just feels so heavy all the time. I know it's not much of an update, but this is where I am. Hun, you should never feel that way for some man. You are important. You matter. You will find someone who will treat you right. And if not, enjoy your life. Spend time with your family. But I know you will if that's what you want. That man was awful. Please move on. You're young, and don't let him manipulate you and your feelings. By shutting yourself and feel like the way you are feeling, you are letting him win. Take yourself back. Let him go live with his awful mom. It doesn't matter anymore. He is not worth your time. I'm very sorry for your loss. I'm glad you connected with a therapist, and it sounds like their counsel is both kind and helpful. I think that your parents love to be able to help you in any way they can. I don't think they see you as a burden at all. It also makes sense that their constant concern is reminding you of the situation. I know if you were my child, I would be glad to be able to be there for you. It might be possible to ask them to treat you more casually, maybe something to ask your therapist. I'm sorry that it feels hopeless right now. I truly believe that you can get through this and be happy again, even if it weighs off for now. It's a difficult time. That's really good advice. I will definitely try working my parents in with a therapist so we can have better communication. Thank you.